First off, what does it mean to be named to another U.S. men's national team squad, and thoughts about potentially playing in the Gold Cup?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, like these are things that you always shoot for, and when you're playing, and I always said I would love to represent, and to get that another opportunity is great. And Gold Cup is a big tournament because it's like the biggest one before, what's next. And for me, I would always want to be a part of as much as possible, and I'm happy to do so.
It seems like you've gained a little bit of the form back and the swagger back. How much more comfortable are you now than maybe earlier in the season?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm back in my rhythm. But it's just obviously with reps and everything. So now for me, it's just continuing what has been working and just trying to execute as much as possible. But for me, it's just trying to take each game at a time. And I think now that I feel back in fluid, like now I got to keep going with it.
What's the biggest adjustment to being and feeling like, I'm sure, the focal point of opposing teams' defenses now?
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to manage it because like they most of the time they understand what my strengths are in terms of like going in behind and all these things. Like most teams understand that. So now it's what I have to do to get my chances still. So obviously I have to do more instead of just always trying to run. I have to get the ball as well and make something happen. So it's kind of having a balance and just making myself as much unpredictable as possible.
I know we've talked about your aerial prowess being something that you've worked on. When that becomes a full-fledged part of your arsenal, how much tougher to beat do you think you become?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you more like closer to a complete striker, possibly, right? I think I'm comfortable beating players on the run with the ball and without, and I think when I'm getting service in the air and I'm able to finish off headers as well, it's difficult to defend that. Also, I think for me, it's just working on that part and working on most of my game as well each day, and I think ultimately it'll click.
You've had a little bit of success in your career against Columbus. I know it's a opponent you've seen both at the MLS level and the MLS Next Pro level, so you know these guys very well.
Yeah.
What is it about this opponent that maybe comes more comfortable to you?
I think the way they play, they like to keep possession of the ball a lot, and for me, it's ultimately we're playing on the counter, and I think at times they play a higher line. So when you play a higher line, and I'm able to beat that line with a run or something, then it gets difficult because not many defenders I don't think can run with me when I'm already fully running. So that's where I think I have to take advantage of, and if I do so, I think I could cause problems.
Pat, how you feeling about the possibility of playing in your hometown?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely amazing. I think that's something that I've been hoping for. I definitely wrote that down, and to have the opportunity potentially, it's a blessing.
And then going into this new camp for men's national team, what did you learn from last time that you were going to change or do differently?
I think it's this one's relatively a little bit longer, so I think it'll just give you more time to adjust. I think last time really taught me that not everything you have time, so you have to really get into the flow as quick as possible and understand that it's a pressured environment. So for me, it's understanding that and realizing that as long as I go, I have to be ready for whatever comes, and I think that's the main thing I'm focused on.
And then back to the match this weekend and kind of the spell that you all have had. How's the locker room? How are you all feeling? Even though you haven't gotten the points, but you may have played well in some spots and other areas just allowing goals.
Yeah, I think the main thing is we have to go back to what we know, and we have to be our team to get by, and we have to defend together. And I think for us, we got to focus on that again. And I think going forward, we just have to continue trying to make defenders struggle as much as possible, and it's just collectively coming together and doing so. So I think we're emphasizing that, and obviously it's been a lot of stretch of games, but we know what we can do, and we know when we have a good game. So that's what we're gonna push for on Saturday.
No frustration in the locker room. No kind of that kind of thing.
Nah, because at the end of the day, it's one of those where you got to go to the next game. You have to. Like, this is what we do, and we know stretches like this happens, but you have to be ready for the next game because it could all change as well. You have good periods, we had good periods, and you have bad periods, but you don't want to dwell too much on the bad periods because at the end of the day, you want to get to the good periods again. So it's all about the next play, and if we get a result Saturday, then we keep. Next thing you know, we go on a run, and now it's it's a good feeling. So that's all we're focused on.
You're talking like a leader now.
I'm trying.
Carol?
Hey, Pat, congratulations on the call up.
Hey, thank you.
How far away is your house from the stadium?
Oh, maybe 5 minutes, 7
Like
minutes
on
maybe.
so could you bike there? Did you ever do something like that or walk?
I've definitely did before, but to be fair, I biked from the high school to the stadium is farther, so I biked to the high school before, so it's crazy, but yeah.
Have you ever played in it as a kid or I don't know.
No, so I went to one game, I think it was 2010 or something. I think it was before the World Cup, I want to say. U.S.
Okay.
versus Czech Republic. I went to one game. That was it.
Was that the story where you were supposed to walk out with the team or something
Yeah,
like that?
yep. I was supposed to walk out, forgot my permission slip. Yep, I did. Yep.
Oh my gosh, was that your junior a school team that was doing that or
It
a
was my
youth
travel
team?
team, East Hartford Hornets travel team. They all walked out with the national team.
Oh my gosh, so did you watch from the stands in
Yeah,
tears or something?
yeah, I
or-
did. Not
Oh,
with tears to be
Pat.
fair. Not with tears to be fair. I was just happy to be at the stadium. That was my first game ever, so it was all right.
How big of an impression did they make on you that day? Is that where the dream kind of started?
If it was more like, this is crazy, I would love to be here, you know? Like, to be fair, at that moment, I said I hope to get another opportunity to walk out with a team, but it never happened. But obviously, that's kind of one thing that stuck with me, because to see that in real life and to see how much it meant to everyone at that field and at that game, it's like, oh, I want to be a part of this. So, yeah, it definitely stuck with me.
Did they win the game?
I'm not sure if they won or tied. I'm not 100%. I know it was a low-scoring game, though. I want to say like 1-1 or something. I'm not sure.
What are the odds that they'd come back to that same spot and you'd be on the team? I mean,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, especially at home. Like, it's crazy. I mean, you know, I can't really put words to it. I just think it's a blessing. I'm very thankful for it.
do you have family lining up for tickets? Like, how are you going to handle all that?
Oh man, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what's gonna happen yet. I know I'm making sure my direct family is okay. But a lot of people are already telling me they're getting tickets. They can't wait to see on all these things. So, I think it's gonna be nice. It's definitely a supportive group over there.
Okay. I know it was kind of a rough time the last time you guys played as a team, and now we hear about Pulisic not being there. I mean, do you kind of feel like it's an opportunity to make a mark for MLS players now? Or, how do you kind of look at the way things are with the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going about it the same way. Ultimately, you can't control who's like going and who's not. So it's about stepping up and just filling the role. Because at the end, they were wearing the badge, and we have to do as good as possible when we're there. So it's for us to just focus on that and get the result each step and just go from there.
Okay. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up with Anna.
Hey, Pat, it's nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm Anna Whitty. I'm the radio analyst this season, so really appreciate the time. I wanted to chat about that Zawoski, I think I butchered his last name, but on Columbus, that center back that you were up against a lot a couple weeks ago. What do you remember from that 1v1 battle at times, and where do you feel like you can get the upper hand tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, he's quick. He's a quick guy, and he's smart. He's smart on the ball as well. So I think it's understanding that he's good. He's good with the ball. I'm pretty sure he also can play in the midfield. So it's about being patient. And I think if I get it to running and if I get into using my body well and all these things when the ball comes in and running with the ball, I don't think many people would be able to defend me in that way. So it's about like picking my moment and executing well, because a couple of times I did get in behind, but I didn't take my chance the first time, and it's about doing that this time.
Yeah. We've seen a couple different formations for you guys, 3-4-3, 4-3-3. Doesn't always maybe change what's happening up top, but for you, is there one in particular that you feel like allows you to be yourself a little bit more, or for you to get on the ball a little bit more?
It really depends. I think it's just when there's more space to work with, it's easier. And ultimately, it depends on how the team is defending. Sometimes like I play in you got two center backs on you, it's going to be hard to make things happen, especially when they're dropping low and stuff like that, because you know the six is going to be in front and as well. So it's just about the spacing. I think, you know, in the beginning, the 3-4-3 Orlando, it's because of how they played, and that's why we've kind of went to that, and it worked a bit. It's just, you know, we got unlucky at times. And I think the regular formation we played, typically, you know, in the beginning, we had a lot of wins from that, and I think it's just about the flow. So it's all about what works, and I think as long as we continue doing the right things, it'll come back.
Have you always played as a single nine, or have you ever played with somebody next to you?
No, I've mixed the match. There's times where I played with two, and there's times when I played single nine, and I think I enjoy both. It just depends on who's around me, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Last one for me is just like watching you improve from a technical aspect has really impressed me so far this season. So I'm sure you're taking that onus, but like, is there somebody in particular that's been staying after training with you, who's been going to training early? Like, where is all of that coming from?
Yeah, it's training. A lot of times, you know, like with the coaches, I emphasize what I want to do. We have like individual sessions as well, and I just, you know, it's one of those things where you understand what you can do. Like I know what I can do when I'm fully going, and it's me, you know, executing as much as possible. So in training, especially when you're tired, is when you need to be able to do these things the most. So I try to get as much as possible in those situations, and after training, I stay back to do, whether it's finishing, whether it's quick touches and turning, all these things just to stay sharp for the game.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the call up. Thank you so much, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.